cage match and is for the European Championship.
Oh my Lord! The 8th wonder of the world! Corey, how do you go undefeated for 15 years?
Well, it helps when you're 7'4" and 500 pounds.
And when you are Andre the Giant, you do whatever you want, whenever you want.
From Braun Strowman to the Big Show to the Great Khali, none of them quite possess the aura of Andre the Giant.
Big-time singles matches on deck here, and Byron, what should we expect to see here tonight?
Well, given the shape these superstars appear to be in here tonight, I fully expect to see one of the most competitive matches we've seen in a very long time.
Introducing the challenger from Grenoble, France, weighing in at 520 pounds, the 8th wonder of the world, Andre the Giant! Introducing the champion from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing in at 229 pounds, he is the European champion, Bray Blaze.
Stay tuned. Here we go, steel cage action kicking off here.
And I can't help but get the feeling that this is going to be one of those matches people will be talking about for a long time to come.
Stop in the leg. Just nasty. Super kick. Ouch. Bad spot for him to be in here, guys.
He's got to do something to get back in this thing.
Oh, guys, there's the mat slam with some attitude. Harsh impact. Challenger's starting to falter. But he certainly comes into this championship match with a ton of momentum.
I know it's early, but if things stay the way they are, winning this match might just be a pipe dream for him.
Oh, no, inverted atomic drop.
He's looking banged up here, guys.
And it looks like things are about to get even worse.
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. for almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, a real high-rent district, and dive off onto their opponent. And that all started with one man in October of 1983, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship that saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continued to push the envelope and executed unbelievable attacks from the top of the cage. And watch Rikishi take flight off the top of the steel cage. Wow. According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between
German suplex!
I'm not sure how much he has left. Things just went from bad to worse for Andre the Giant.
That was clever, Byron. Nasty one right to the chest.
Corey, you gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match. I'd like to point out to our viewers that from the 1960s through the mid-1980s, chain link fences were used to enclose the ring for WWE steel cage matches. A superstar could win by pinfall submission or by exiting the cage through the cage door or climbing over the top of the cage.
We should also point out, Michael, that the way to win a steel cage match can vary by match depending on what was agreed to before contracts to compete in the match were signed. Talking about history, at WrestleMania 2, WWE unveiled the redesigned steel cage with solid steel blue bars before returning to chain link mesh in the late 1990s. The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match. And sometimes it comes down to a superstar doing whatever they need to do in order to survive.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring, and that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it has meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects from being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael, the steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest. The rivalry between Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude began during the Super Pose Down at the 1989 Royal Rumble. Then it progressed to where both superstars battled over the Intercontinental Championship. At SummerSlam 90, the rivals met inside a 15-foot-high steel cage for the WWE Championship. Victory could be achieved by pinfall or escape from the cage.
Corey, the WWE Championship match between the Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick Rude was the second half of the double main event at 1990 SummerSlam. The rivalry between the Warrior and the Ravishing one was so heated.
Oh boy.
German suplex!
Are we really going to see Andre lose here?
The force of that impact should put an end to this match right here.
Nailed it.
We talk about how important stipulations are in a steel cage match. If superstars sign a contract where the only way to win is escape the cage and have...
You gotta believe this one's over!
Looks like Andre's gonna pick up the W here. With the championship at stake, you know these superstars are going to give everything they can to win here tonight.
Corey, you touched on something moments ago that's so important for the combatants in a steel cage match to remember. A superstar must be able to think offensively to figure out how they're going to escape the cage. They must think defensively at the same time so they can prevent their opponent from getting out of the cage.
Yes! Unreal performance.
When you introduce the enclosure, everything is possible. What a match this was.
Overall, this match was average at best. But not every match is going to be memorable. In fact, I've almost forgotten it happened already.
Yeah, he's putting in the work. and this is how he ended it.
Here is your winner, and still European Champion, Bray Blaze.
Took it to another level to gain that win.
When you get a one-on-one match like that, you hate to see one of them come up short. But that's just the harsh reality of it.
Folks, we just saw one of the most exciting matches you'll see anywhere.